What's up, everybody? It's your guys, Reedie and Z. We're here for Monday Command to discuss how the Cowboys embarrassed our Commanders 44-22 in Dallas. A lot to talk about, a lot of assessments, and a lot of anger going around this team right now. So make sure you stay tuned. Your favorite guys is coming to you real soon.
It's the Reedie Zee show. Reedie Zee show. It's the Reedie Zee show. Reedie Zee show. Reedie Zee show.
Yo, Reedie and Z here. How you doing? How you doing, brother?
What's up? What's up? How you? Good to talk to you, brother. How you doing?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Yesterday, we actually had the opportunity to do a live watch party at Sycamore Note. Had some fans out there, some interactions. It was a great atmosphere, but wasn't necessarily a great outcome for our team. You know what I mean? There ain't no point of even toying around with it. Let's just dive right into the topic. Like, what pissed you off the most about this loss?
Um, just the lack of taking what's available. We went into this game knowing we were limited at the wide receiver position, knowing that we were limited in certain areas, and I felt like the play calling kind of like getting into this game was like limited. I feel like we don't take advantage of like what we need to do to be successful as it relates to the running game. I felt like the running game would have been key for us yesterday, and then you kind of like take your shots off the pass off of that. I felt like they tried to run, but it wasn't very successful. But it was a lot of inside zone until the second half. I was calling the whole first half for like, why are we not trying to get to the edges? Why are we not trying to go counter? Why are we not trying to go off tackle? Why don't we go crack toss? Why don't we kind of like stretch the field? And Dallas kind of was doing those things. They were kind of making the linebackers and the defensive line have to flow and chase the football, but we weren't doing that. We were just trying to go in between the tackles. And I thought that maybe we could have, did some things differently. And then also Jaden Daniels as well as Marcus Mariota not taking what was available at times. One that goes to mind is Mariota in the second half, where he tries to get Luke on the corner, like look like a corner route, when you had somebody that was open underneath for the first down. Jaden, the same thing when Zach Ertz was open in the middle of the field, but he went elsewhere with the football. Um, I felt like that was Jaden's superpower last year, was taking what was available. But I feel like in the last two games at least, he's been kind of trying to push the football down the field instead of taking the sure first down. Sometimes you just got to live to keep fighting, and I feel like we're killing ourselves we're hitting ourselves in the foot by not being able to stay on the field to sustain drives. And that was one of the things. My keys was that we had to be able to run the football to kind of shorten this game and not make it a game where you have the number one offense in the entire league. You're going up against them. We had to take advantage of our opportunities when the defense did get a stop, and keep Dak and them off the field. With that receiver course, CeeDee Lamb came back yesterday, as well as George Pickens being George Pickens, what he has been doing this year. And it was what it was.
Yeah, I felt offensively, I felt like we didn't like I talked about it all the time yesterday on the lab. Like we needed to be consistent. We needed to kind of establish a sort of flow offensively, and I felt like we didn't. I felt like we kind of started out. Bill, I think first play of the game, 8-9 yards. There was like a play later in the drive, another 8-9 yards. So we were kind of running the ball okay a few times, but ultimately they end up putting more in the box and stuffing our run. We saw the run game kind of as we talked about last week with the Bears, how the Bears wasn't that great against the run and they stopped us. The Dallas turned around and did the same thing. What I mean, they made an adjustments and was able to, kind of clog up our running gaps. and we wasn't able to be as efficient there. But I still think that we're killing ourselves as well with penalties. I mean, 3rd and 1 on a drive. It was a 4th and 1, I believe. Tunsil got the false start, and then we forced us to punt because we was about to go for it. I mean, later on, Connerly Jr. had, I think, ended up like 2 false starts. There was one point in the game where it said we had like 11 penalties for like 118 yards, so like over 100 yards and penalties. It's just insane. I mean, that's offensively and defensively, but just overall, I just felt like we didn't really click. We already knew that we were going to be coming in having to deal with the fact that we didn't have our top dogs at wide receivers. So as you mentioned, you got to take what's there. I mean, few different times I've seen Luke McCaffrey wide open with the defender probably 3-4 yards away from him, and I mean, JD5 looked right at him and didn't throw it to him for whatever reason. I mean, there was some passes where I know Jaden would like to have back. He went in high on Ertz across the middle of the zone, wide open. There was another play that I believe it was to Ertz as well. No, Robbie Chosen that was high. I mean, it was just a few bad throws, but I just feel like that inconsistency was there from, I mean, for their whole entire offense. It wasn't just with the run game, even in the pass game as well. I just like to see Jaden kind of settle in a little bit on some of these throws. And I mean, like we always talked about, that's very uncharacteristic of him. Last year he was known for putting the ball on the money where it needed to be, and he still had, he had some good throws yesterday. But I would love to get a lot of those other throws back because they came in key moments.
Yeah, and I would add to that. Shout out to the offensive line. They did a really good job of protecting whoever was back there. The pocket was there. Like, he wasn't really under duress. He had time to throw the football. And like you mentioned before, like, he was just kind of just off on, some stuff or whatever. And I don't know particularly why. Um, I don't know why. I can't put a finger on why. He just has to be. He has to be better with that, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also as well, if you're looking at, for me, what pissed me off the most yesterday was the defense in the sense of, and I'm gonna just say it, Marshawn Lattimore, like from the first play of the game, well, no, that first drive, because the first play was the little screen, but the second play of the game, he got trucked by Williams. He came back 2 plays later in a soft coverage, gave up the inside post route to CeeDee Lamb for a first down. Then he gets the bomb thrown at him, and yeah, he's in position, but what I mean, he's feeling and wrestling with whatever he's got going on, and he ain't turning around, and you get the penalty, and he looking like, how did I get a pass interference call? Like, bro, you didn't do the fundamentals, period. What I mean? And they attacked him later on. What I mean, with Pickens or with the go route, and it's like it's most frustrating for me because it be big plays and key moments, and that's when you want your big dogs, your main guys, to kind of like step up and be there for you. And I mean, I just feel like teams are attacking him. They know, like, if you want the big play, go against Lattimore. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And it's just like, bro, like, you getting paid to be the top dog, like, and I know other guys are, what I mean, me and Reedie talking all the time off air. And other guys are definitely getting burnt too, but not at the rate as him, not at the big plays as him. And it's been the case. And I started out a Lattimore supporter. You know what I mean? A lot of people were saying he was trash, all this and that, and he couldn't. You know what I mean? He needed to get rid of him and all those things. And I was kind of silent on it. But today I say, nigga's trash. He's trash. And something got to change.
From a purely a football perspective, I think Lattimore is in position. He was the first to say when I seen the clip on X last night of the locker room reporting that he just has to, he's in position. He's correct. He's in phase. He's in position. He just has to get his head back to the football. If he gets his head back to the football, it's sticky coverage. It's good coverage. And I would say the one in the end zone to Pickens, I felt like they were both going back and forth. I feel like that's a bad call to call that pass interference when Pickens was pushing him and all of that. Like, you got to call it both ways, in my opinion. You can't just call it one sided. But I mean, for the average fan that doesn't necessarily break down tape and doesn't necessarily know different types of DB techniques and this, that, and the third, they're going to just see, oh, he caught the pass on him. But there's a lot that goes into it. They talk about all the time that the defensive line, the linebacks, each phase of the defense, the three phases of the defense have to marry each other. And I just feel like we're not doing that. Like, the pressure isn't married up with what the linebackers are doing, and linebackers is not married up with the secondary is doing. So I just feel like it's a lot of stuff that goes into stuff like that. Yeah, it's a one-on-one battle, but the penalties and the aggressiveness, I love all the stuff that he brings. But I would also say I agree he has to get his head back to the football. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say he's trash, because we got to go back and we got to look at the plays that he does make when he does have pass breakups, when he comes up and he tackles in the run game, when he does those little things. And we can't blame a pass here, a pass there, or whatever, because you getting cooked, but yet not talk about what our counterpart, the offense, is doing to put us in these situations when the defense does get us off the field, when the defense does hold teams to 3 points, when the defense does do the things that they're supposed to do, and the offense is just not getting blamed for it. It's a team effort. It's 11 on 11 on offense and on defense, and that's why this is the best team game in the world, in my opinion. But we just had to call that stuff out. We got to call a spade on both sides of the ball, and can't just put the blame because somebody gets beat in coverage or this and that. That's the name of the game. The offensive players on the opposite side of the field, they get paid just as well as the DBs gets paid. Now, even the top Patrick Surtain, the best cornerback in the league, I see people catch passes on him all the time. Nothing is said. He may not give up as many deep shots or whatever, but I mean, it is what it is. I feel like Lattimore just does need to work on, his getting his head back to the football. And I think if he does that, he'll be a much better player in the long run, because he is actually there in coverage. He's not really necessarily getting burnt for real. You know what I'm saying? It's just his aggressive nature that's really killing him.
Yeah. I agree with you to some extent. Absolutely, with the fact that you got to hold the offense accountable as well. And that's why I chose to make sure I speak about Jaden Daniels and his mistakes that he's made. I think a lot of his mistakes get swept up under the rug. And, he's human too. I still think that he's a great quarterback and all that, but I think he's just going through a period right now where he's having some overthrows. He's off target. And, something is going through his head. I'm not sure. Like, to see wide open guys and choose to do something else, it just makes no sense. I don't know what's going on in his head, and I'm confident that he'll bounce back from it. But you got to point it out when it happens. So I definitely want to hold Jaden accountable for his mishaps in this particular game, but as well as otherwise in offense too. You got drops. Zach Ertz had a fucking drop. Lane had a drop. Chris Moore, I felt, could have gave a better effort on a route and failed and missed the pass. Like, there were times when Jaden was on target and guys just dropping the ball as well. So they all need to be held accountable. But in a sense of when you talk about big plays and big moments, Marshawn Lattimore is getting cooked, and and teams are straight targeting him. You know what I mean? Look at.
I don't necessarily agree, because if we go back to the film, Amos got cooked. Nobody said nothing.
No,
Now, Mike,
but
let
at
me
the
finish
rate,
my point. Let me
at
finish
the
my
rate
point.
though.
At the rate, what rate? What, like, show video evidence that shows that he's getting cooked. He's getting cooked at the rate, because if we go back into the other games, what other game did he get cooked? Like, realistically, like, he may have got cooked
Green
maybe
Bay
like
and Atlanta.
two. He may have got cooked two or three times out of 7 games. Cornerbacks are going
2 or
to
3
get beat.
games out of 7 games,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
times.
Yeah, out of you know what I'm saying? Like, but if we look at it, Mikey was getting his ass roasted, and I make sure I mention that because when it's people's favorite players, or they may have a disdain for a player, or they not playing as well as they want to do, every little mistake is magnified. And I'm a person that does it too, because when I was on Luke McCaffrey's case, every single time he did something, I brought it up. I brought it up. But now he's playing well. You'll give him a pass on certain situations.
I don't think
Whereas you won't.
Lattimore has
But
earned that
Amos,
pass though.
if we really go back and look at the film and come up with videos, all three of our corners are getting their ass cooked. All three of them. Now he may be at a higher rate, but like he's playing well in situations too. So that's all I'm saying is we just gotta call a spade a spade. Like I'm not sitting here arguing and saying that he ain't been playing like no shit, because he has. But I'm just saying, like, you got to look at those things as well.
But what I'm saying is, when I say the rate, yeah, like Amos got cooked one time yesterday, and you didn't see no more cooking coming on his side of the football field. Sanders still got cooked. Green Bay, he came back and had an interception. Like he's had situations where he's done bad, and we've talked about it. But also he's came back and made plays this year too. So you kind of like give him a pass. And I felt like
it's also need to be said that it was the games that came back where they didn't even try him, or they didn't. It was several games that it was like one or two targets to his side. So if they're not targeting his side, how's he gonna have an interception? Yeah, he got cooked yesterday, but like go back and like look at it. Like I challenge everybody to go back and look at it. I don't want to be the one to just say it. Go back and look at it. Like do some research on it, and it'll tell you that.
People in the comments saying you saving.
I'm not saving him. He's ass at the moment. I can't say he ain't, but I'm just saying, like, you got to give him some grace. You got to give him some grace because he has his moments.
Skins Nation 2.0 said Reedie trying to give him a way out.
Give who a way out?
Lattimore, because you saying, yeah, he's this, but when you say but, it negates everything else.
I mean, I'm not disputing the fact that he got beat.
He's playing bad enough to say that he's trying.
The pass interferences are an issue, but what I'm saying is we can't gloss over the other mistakes that our defense makes. And if we're sitting here saying Lattimore is the cause of our defense to have its woes, then we really don't watch football.
Correct. I'm not agreeing. I'm not on the side of that. I'm not saying that he's totally the entire defense's problem. The defense had problem from the coach to the scheme to the other players as well as Lattimore. But what I'm saying is that speaking specifically on Lattimore in this moment, he's playing like trash and he needs to be called out. Now, there may be other guys that can be called out as well, but that don't mean we can't sit here and talk about the horrible play that he's giving right now.
Yeah, that's facts.
So, but you know, when you try to bring up everything, it sounds like you're saving him.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna argue with it. Okay, if that's how y'all feel, then okay, cool.
Go ahead. But yeah, like Joe Witt.
Y'all know Reedie. Y'all know I'm petty. So just remember, if y'all say that I'm saving somebody, when I get on my shit, just remember I'm going to say the motherfuckers that y'all saving too. That's all I'm gonna say.
Respect.
But I'm gonna let y'all have
that. Respect, but nah, just on the other side of it too, like situational awareness. Joe Witt, if you know this guy, teams has been attacking him, why are you leaving him on islands? Keep treating him like he's prime Dion. He is not. He's not even prime Lattimore no more. So it's like, bro, like stop leaving this man on the island. You got to know your personnel. I don't care how it may kill his confidence or all this other shit that you want, man. Man, you got to put the best effort out there and the best scheme and the best players. So damn all that other shit. Like put somebody over top. Give him some fucking help.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But our safety, for whatever reason, once he got that praise from Joe Witt talking about the type of play he was, he cannot tackle.
He cannot tackle. He talking about that. He talking in a video last week. JP Finley did. How he pride on tackling. He been his whole career has been about tackling and he been a prideful on that. And like, bro, you missed a key tackle last week and you missed another one yesterday, and it didn't become a touchdown. I mean, they still ended up scoring, but that play wasn't a touchdown. But that nigga dragged you for like 6 yards.
about 7, 8 yards.
Like, God
Had
damn.
you on his back like you was a fucking little boy.
Yeah, like, come on, Quan. Like, what are we doing out there? And I don't know. I don't think the zone get picked apart, man to man get picked apart. Like, we can't stop shit. The pass rush. I mean, we had a little bit of pressure yesterday, and they worked us on that sack. There wasn't no fucking roughing the passer. He grabbed the man's shoulder, and just so
Yeah,
happened his helmet came off. He ain't have his fucking chin strap. But we in Dallas, you in Jerry, where you
yeah,
know what
but
happened. What you about to say?
yeah, they're saying it's too late to bench Lattimore, but who do we put in his place? Who do we have that could come in
Man,
and take
you
over
just
for him?
gotta shift it. You just
Are we
gotta
talking
shift
about
the lineup.
Darnell Savage? We got
Savage is a safety, so you gotta just shift the lineup. Everybody gets bumped up.
that's what I'm saying.
Amos is
That's
your
the
number
only
one,
person that
Mikey your
that's
2, Noah your 3, Jonathan Jones, and you bring up somebody or put him at safety, something. But some changes are needed. Like, we can't keep rolling out there with this fucking defense. Kansas City getting better. We got Kansas City next. They getting better, and they got Rashee Rice back. I think
yeah.
he scored twice yesterday. So, like, it ain't gonna get easy. What we say? We got the Chiefs, Seahawks, and the Lions. Oh my God.
Death Row. Welcome to Death Row.
Oh my
It don't
God.
get no easier. It don't get no easier. And the offensive line looks much better with Cosme out there. I mean, they look good all year, but I've noticed like just the timing to throw the football was just like crazy yesterday. This all we had to fix this offense. We had to fix this defense. We had to fix a lot of things. Some tough, some tough, you know, decisions had to be made as it relates to this personnel. Um, you know, it is what it is. Shout out Chris Moore. Shout out, Chris Moore got obliterated by this fan base, for this and for that. But yesterday, he by far was our best receiver. Robbie chose to come off the street, came in with like 4 or 5 catches yesterday. Luke McCaffrey, 1 target, 0 catches.
Yeah. And then the offense can't start
But to Luke's defense, he was open a lot.
open a lot. The offense can't seem to start out fast at all. Everything is slow and inconsistent. You know what I mean? Now Jaden ends up hurt. We still got to see how that goes. They were saying it's a hamstring injury, went in the tent. He did jog into the locker room, but we'll see how that goes. But also his mother ended up tweeting and was like, "Man, I wish I stopped putting RG3 on my son." Like, basically, this ain't that. You know what I mean? Words are powerful. I saw RG3. He kind of came back and commented and was just, letting her know, like, I have utmost respect for Jaden and always thought highly of him and these things. Being the quarterback in Washington comes with that type of pressure. I know it firsthand, but I wish Jaden nothing but the best. So I don't know. You got anything to speak on that? Let's say on that part. Let's see.
I mean, I get it, but it's going to come with the territory.
We kind of lost you there. You got a little broke up. You said it come with the territory and something else. But yeah, I'm looking at some of the comments real quick. Let me see here. We are a bad team right now. He's just not talking about Lattimore. He's not just getting beat. He's running his mouth. He's definitely running his mouth. Jaden's situation might be the knee brace. How is he going to bounce back? He's out for the season. It's rare for Amos getting cooked. Very rare. Getting burnt toast out here. It's not just Lattimore. Some people on your side. And the key thing is Lattimore is the vet. Lattimore knows better for some of this technique he got. So that's another part. It's not like I'm not excusing it. Like, he the one to know better. Amos is a rookie and still know how to look at the ball. Joe Witt has to be blamed. Horrible every week. Joe Witt needs to be fired. Everybody keep talking about St. Juice. Stop acting like y'all really want St. Juice back. Nobody here wants St. Juice. Whole defense need to get in the waiting room. Misery Monday for sure. But yeah, man. So, I mean, we wanted to hop on and kind of quickly touch on what we saw yesterday, and just give y'all a brief stint about it. It's a lot
Can
of
you hear me?
frustration. Yeah, I can hear you.
My bad. Trying to transition. I gotta go to the dentist. My bad. But to the St. Juice point, I'm hearing people in our group chat talking about St. Juice is balling. St. Juice is not balling. Like, let's stop what we doing. I'll take Lattimore 9 days, 9 out of 10 times, not days, over St. Jude. Stop what we doing. Like that. Like, let's just stop this slander with this St. Jude talk. St. Jude is bubblegum dog shit. Let's just stop that.
Nah, no update on Jaden yet. Waiting on that to come. I'm sure Dan Quinn
Press
is going to have
conference
a
probably
press
gonna be like
conference.
around 3:00.
Yeah, it should be one coming up. So we'll get the information on that. But yeah, we'll be providing more updates and hopping back on. We definitely got the show Wednesday. I'm not sure if we're gonna hop back on tomorrow to kind of further talk some things. But be on the lookout because we might. But make sure you tap in, like, share, subscribe at Reedie Zee on all platforms. Thank you to everyone who came out to the watch party yesterday at Sycamore and Oak. We do plan to do more. We got some things cooking. So, stay tapped in with us. Make sure you also check into our sponsor, Elite Locks. They got the locks over there. They got the pick packages. So if you are better, go over to Elite.Locks on Instagram. Hit the link in their bio, and you can purchase a package. Send a screenshot to their DM, and then they'll send you the link to the group, and then you get your bets. So, always gamble responsibly. If you have a problem, 1-800-GAMBLER is where you need to go. But I'm Z signing out for me and my brother Reedie, and we'll see y'all again later this week, potentially tomorrow. So stay tuned.
Reedie Zee Show.